Kia ora Year 13, here's question 2b from last year's probability concepts exam. This is a shorter video because there's just one achieved and one merit question. So it's a totally different context from the first part of question 2. This one is all about a website that claims to predict a person's gender based on a sample of that person's formal writing. And once it's done the prediction, then it asks you to say if it got it right or wrong. So the table below shows results for a random sample of 400 people who used the website to predict their gender. Okay, so just notice that they've split the genders into two groups, female and male. So you might want to think about that as a comment when you come to the appropriateness of the model. Not in the marking schedule, but I think a legit comment that you could make. Right, so first of all, we've got the percentage of predictions that were correct. So we have to calculate the percentage of predictions that were correct where the predicted gender was the same as the gender that the student said, right? And so here, which ones are predicted? Well, predicted correctly. This cell is where a student said that they were female and the model had predicted them as being female. So those predictions were correct. And the same thing here. These ones were where the model of handwriting had predicted that the student was male and then they said, yes, I am. So they're correct. These ones are where the model's got it wrong. So as usual, the very first thing to do is to add up the numbers and then work out what fraction we're after. So here we get 280, 120 here, 400 people altogether. What have we got here? 202 and 198. So which corrections were correct? Well, out of the 400 total, there were 172. We'll put some words in. Probability of correct equals 172 plus 94 over 400, which is 0.665. So you can leave it like that, or you could say it was 66.5%. Actually, you have to do that, or you should do that because it says percentage. Okay, so you need that. Right, on to the next bit. Give one potential issue with the appropriateness of the model used by the website based on the data provided above. So really what they're guiding you to do here is to do a calculation. Support your answer with at least one calculation. So yes, you could make a criticism that the model has just got male and female gender in it and doesn't take account of other genders, but that probably wouldn't have got you the point because you had to do a calculation. So the obvious thing I think to look at is how good was the model for the two different genders. And it turns out that that is what the mark schedule was after, which I know most of you, that's all you really care about at this point of the year. So let's figure out what is the probability that if someone doing the survey was female, that the model got it right. We'll work out that one. And then we can do the same thing for male students who completed the survey. Did it get it right for them? So probably that it got it right, given that a student was female. Well, this is the total of the people who it predicted were female. So that's not what I want. I want the total who were female. So that's 198 people. Okay, so out of those 198 females, 172 of them had the model predict correctly. So that's the first calculation I'm going to do. Right, so that works out to be 0.869, which is 86.9%. So it's pretty hard to say that that's an issue with the appropriateness of the model because that's a pretty good hit rate. Now let's have a look at how it does for the male people who were on the website. Sorry, it's not students, it's just males. So you can see straight away we've got a bit more of an issue here. We had 202 males complete the formal writing sample, and the model got it right for fewer than half of them, so only 94 of them. So it's, let's see, is that right? Correctly predicted male. Yeah, 94 out of 202. Okay, so that works out to be, I think, about 46.5%. Okay, so this is pretty low. The model is not predicting accurately. It's not predicting male writing well. So overall what it's doing is that it's predicting far more female handwriting than male handwriting. So you need to say something like that, and you must have a calculation. So that's about all there is to it. Pretty straightforward question. Just remember conditional probability and relative risk, which are both linked up ideas, come up in this standard lots and lots. So make sure that you are really confident with going through the table and figuring those out. And just one more time, the conditional probability rule that we're using without thinking here is this one. So given that B has happened, what's the probability of A happening? Well, it's the probability of both of those things happening divided by or out of the probability that B happens. Thanks for watching. I'll do some more later on tonight.